keep talking about Soros, and so, I guess he'd be a likely candidate.
Jasmine Crockett recently.
Jasmine Crockett.
Are you willing to negotiate?
Well, what they're really asking for is they want to pay for illegal aliens that have come into our country by the millions.
I want to jump into a couple more insane racist claims from Donald Trump. So, more of the usual from this administration. If you can, take a moment to leave us a like on the video. It helps us out a bunch in the algorithm. We really appreciate it. And let's hop right in with some fact checks ready.
Jasmine Crockett recently.
Jasmine Crockett. Remember what I said? Is she a relation to the late, great Davy Crockett? I don't think so. Jasmine Crockett, let me tell you, before you even ask, she's a very low IQ person. I mean, if we ever had to pass an aptitude test, that's the one should take one, because she shouldn't even be in the crowd. So I have no idea what you're going to, but I don't think we should waste our time. This is a low IQ person who I can't even believe is a congressperson. Between her and Ilhan, Omar, and the group. I met the head of Somalia. Did you know that? And I suggested that maybe he'd like to take her back, and he didn't want to.
Guys, I know what you're thinking, but the context, I mean, am I right? It's obviously just a coincidence that he specifically chose two women of color to call low IQ and nobody else. It's obviously not racism. Trump, by the way, struggled pronouncing acetaminophen and then said hepatitis B is sexually transmitted. So there's that. That's who's saying this. That's great. I wonder what about Jasmine Crockett makes him think she's low IQ, though. Let's think about this for a second, because can't be education. She went to a good college. She passed the bar exam, right? Can't be education. She's well articulated. Can't be the way she speaks. Meanwhile, by comparison here of who Trump thinks is intelligent, Charlie Kirk dropped out of community college. Trump was just praising his intelligence. I wonder what the difference here is between the likes of those two. If he can't point to her education, if he can't point to how she carries herself or how she talks, I wonder what else it could be that makes him think she's low IQ, and what Ilhan Omar has in common to that. It has to be something they both share. What could that be?
Can you comment on a New York Times report saying that Justice Department officials have asked attorneys to target a George Soros-funded group? And is this executive order that you just signed a part of that effort?
I'm not going to comment on whether there is or is not a pending investigation, but everything's on the table right now.
I don't think anybody has to ask, because if you look at Soros, he's at the top of every. In fact, sometimes they say, could he be involved in this many things? But he's in every story that I read. Stories that I read keep talking about Soros, and so I guess he'd be a likely candidate.
I just can't stress this enough. MAGA literally hates George Soros because he's rich and Jewish. Like, it's just blatant anti-Semitism. That's why they don't care about Vivek, Elon Musk, Timothy Mellon, all these other people who donate massively to Trump. And of course, the fact he's Jewish and donates to liberals. That's literally it. This is a man who donates just to charity causes, over 60% of his earnings in life, to causes like world hunger, fighting abuses across the globe, injustices, and more. And he also then donates a small portion to Democrats. Oh, so evil, right? He literally never publicly puts his finger on the scale, does not get involved with government personally, anything like that. But a bunch of nefarious conspiracies have just happened to be made by him, by MAGA. I mean, I get told I'm paid by him every week. Meanwhile, again, fine with the likes of Elon Musk, fine with the likes of the numerous billionaires who donated to Trump. So I wonder what it is about George Soros they don't like, to the point that Trump is now saying he will target him with legal action as well. I mean, he's not even trying to hide the weaponization at this point. A bold fascist. I'll give him that.
One thing they're concerned about, look, Republicans have total control of Washington. You guys have control of the House, the Senate, there's you.
Well, when you say control, so we need 60 votes for this, and we have 53 Republicans, so we need 7 Democrats.
And those 7 Democrats and others are asking for an extension of a tax credit on people who get the Affordable Care Act and some other government-backed health care. So are you willing to negotiate on
what
that
they're
issue?
really asking for is they want to pay for illegal aliens that have come into our country by the millions and get onto the rolls, and they want to pay. And our people don't want to do that. Our people are taxed enough. We just approved the largest tax decrease ever in the history of our country, including the extension of the previous Trump tax cuts. The tax cuts that we just approved, they want to use those tax cuts to give the money to illegal aliens, people that came into our country illegally.
He was asked about Obamacare subsidies and, the government shutdown, and he said tax cuts 7 times and illegal aliens maybe 10. You cannot make this up. MAGA said Biden had dementia and then elected this. Like, what are we doing? Yes, Republicans control government. Yes, doofus, handling our government is set up in a way in which controlling the government does mean you still have to work with the other side. It's called a democracy. What he means is Republicans are completely in the driver's seat, which they are. This is shown by the Democrats not asking for anything even kind of partisan, not asking for anything even kind of close to what Trump is saying. Instead, asking him for mercy to spare the poor and elderly on their health care subsidies. And he's so unwilling to do that rather than just do it, he's going to lie about it, try to force their hand, and then potentially shut the government down if they don't bend the knee. I mean, guys, this is MAGA's America. We're just living in it at this point.